Yo, what's going on, guys? We are 1 minute late. It's 4:01 Central Time, 5:01 Eastern Time. And if your time is Perry, it's like 7 p.m. for you or 8 p.m. I don't even know. But we got a great show here today. Let me invite our boy Jackson into it. I was running around all day, but I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday as much as I am today. Now, we got a little action today for y'all. We'll be talking about Carmelo Anthony is reportedly an option for the Boston Celtics, as you guys know. Danilo Gallinari suffered a torn left meniscus, the same knee that he had surgically repaired already once for an ACL. ACL's fine. Then a great article by The Athletic was released regarding NBA player, one player on every single NBA team that is a prove it, as well as we have over here. I just took that off the screen. We also have Deandre Hunter and John Collins need to step up. Finally, we'll wrap it up with will Joel Embiid win an MVP during his career? And finally, we probably will do some other news just around the NBA type news. But that's basically going to be the rundown of the show. We'll get started once our boy Jackson hops in here. And if you do enjoy the show, guys, be a friend and tell a friend. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Go check out the show on podcast services. This is an internet daily show. It is not a podcast, but if you ever miss an episode, we are live. We put a new episode on the streaming platforms every day. What up, Jackson?
What's up? What's up, Bucks Daily? What's up, Thomas?
Not much, just hanging. Damn, dude, I literally am sweating pits right now, and I don't know where my other stick of deodorant is because I just went through one stick.
I haven't put on deodorant in weeks.
You're Matthew McConaughey, pulling a Matthew McConaughey.
I'm cooler.
You're cool.
I'm like McConaughey, but cooler.
The
joke also is I'm Buccaneers Daily.
It is.
Yeah.
I thought it was swaggy because you guys. Oh my God! Guess who the Raptors just signed?
No, Cyro showed up late, and he sent me the invite late. I won't tolerate that. No.
I did show up late.
Kaboshed. Moses.
All right, you ready to hear? The Toronto Raptors have signed former number 4 overall draft pick Josh Jackson, according to Mark J. Spears. Josh Jackson is now a part of the Toronto Raptors family. And I'm actually a huge fan of this move because we saw Josh Jackson actually have a small resurgence when he played the first season with Detroit. Okay, his first season with Detroit, he actually was not terrible. He was, a guy who could stay on the floor. He was terrible with the Kings and with the Pistons last year. The guy's only 25. He's been in the NBA since 2017. He's technically played, 5 years now? 5 years now, and he's a career 29% three-point shooter. His best seasons shooting three ball were with Memphis and Detroit in 2019-20, and then 2020 to 2021. And this is a guy who shows that I think he could be like a 13 points per game guy, average a block of steal a night like he did for the Pistons in his first season, then come out, shoot about 10 field goals a night, having about 4 or 5 of those be three-pointers. I don't ever think he's going to be the guy we thought he was going to be, but I don't know. I want to hear your take. And what do you think Josh Jackson could be for this team? This team is loving the fact that they're just going for reclamation project after reclamation project.
Yeah, he found a good home, man. I love Josh Jackson. I've been advocating for the Golden State Warriors to pick this guy up for a couple of weeks now. And while you can never trust a Kansas basketball player, if there's somewhere to make that change, it might be Toronto. So my fingers are crossed. I don't think we'll see double-digit scoring, but if we do,
he was a double-digit scorer already 3 times in his career.
Yeah, but he's not going to get 25 a night in Toronto.
Oh, yeah. No. I think low double digits. Like, for me, this is what I think Josh Jackson, if we wanted to be, like, quite frank, what Josh Jackson could be, is a guy who starts, plays about 25 minutes a night max. I don't ever see him being more than that, either off or starting. And he's kind of like the 3-and-D guy in a sense for a team where he kind of develops into a poor man's Mikal Bridges, where he's never an elite 3-point shooter, but he's respectable from out there, gets really good at scoring in transition or just, running the passing lanes in transition to be a slasher who can cut to the basket, or even on offense when he's going through motions. This way you have DeAndre Aiden and Chris Paul and Devin Booker who can set him up like in a similar way, like how Mikal Bridges gets set up. Now you do that idea with Josh Jackson. You now have Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Thad Young, Fred VanVleet, and all these guys who are going to be able to do what Mikal Bridges is able to get done, like how those guys create for on the Suns for Mikal Bridges. I think in a similar fashion, the Toronto Raptors, all the playmakers they have on this roster could utilize Josh Jackson in a similar way that Mikal Bridges is utilized for the Phoenix Suns. Does that make sense, that like comparison?
Mm-hmm.
And I just personally think, this is a guy who could easily, I know he's already been given a shot with the Pistons to restart his career, but Mikal Bridges became what they thought Josh Jackson was going to become when the Suns drafted him. So Josh Jackson has that potential to be what we think he can be. I don't think he'll ever, become what we originally think, but I think he can become that 25 minutes a night guy scoring, 11 to 13 points a night, a steal and a block a game. It all comes down. He's shown all the tools. It's about keeping the focus there, because there's been times where you're just like, okay, this guy's focus is waning. But I'm done talking about, the Toronto Raptors and Josh Jackson. So let's move on to something else.
Fuck you too.
No, I want to hear your opinion right here. But close.
I don't want to talk Toronto Raptors.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm excited. Unfortunately, I have a bold take. It's not bold. In fact, it's not bold at all. I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I think that maybe in a season, if they give him a shot, but there's a lot of they got a lot of wings, so I don't really think he's going to get much of an opportunity. And when he does, I don't think he's going to make his 3-point shots. And I don't think we'll see too much of Josh Jackson. And I really hope I'm wrong, and that's why I'm saying this out loud here. But I think he's more of a guy where maybe he helps him a little bit this year, but I think maybe if they keep on to him and they like what they see, we'll see it more next year. But yeah, he's still young. I mean, he's definitely not old. He's a solid defender, so hopefully that'll give him some minutes. But they got guys like Otto. We'll see. I wouldn't even be surprised if like DJ Wilson gets more minutes than him because he can shoot better. But we'll see. I like the idea a lot. So hopefully Nick Nurse can get him. I'm not trying to shit on your guys' hopes. I'm just saying, they don't really need him. They don't really need him.
My last Josh Jackson thing is, I know for his career he's 112 defensive rating, but in those 22 games with Memphis, when Memphis wasn't necessarily good, he had 108.9, where he showed he could be, a decent defender. And even with the Pistons, he showed he was a decent defender. I just think there should be a little bit of optimism. If I had to choose who's going to be better, Josh Jackson or Jarrett Culver, I'm choosing Josh Jackson.
100%. Yep. 100%. He's a really solid defender. He's never been on a good basketball team ever at any point in his entire NBA career. When he first got drafted to Phoenix, they were like not even getting 20 wins. And Memphis, they finished below 500, and that might have been the COVID. Was that the COVID year? I think that was the COVID year.
It was during the COVID year, yeah.
And then Detroit, they retooling, and Sacramento definitely wasn't. And he didn't really even play much but yeah, I'm excited, and I really hope that Nick Nurse can get him a 3-point shot, because if he's making if he's even just making threes at a 30% clip with his defense, you'll see him every night.
Yeah, 100%. And he kind of fits, what they needed. They realized that they didn't need just shooting; they needed shooting and defense. That's why they got rid of Svi Mykhailiuk. And I think
he also sucked.
He did suck.
They need shooting. I still think they need shooting, and Josh Jackson's career 29% from downtown doesn't.
I mean, I agree that he doesn't cut the bill. Okay, we'll agree he's not cutting the bill. But let's move on to another news, and let me put up this little cute picture of Carmelo Anthony in a Celtics jersey, because I do find this interesting. Carmelo Anthony is supposedly. Do you like this? That Carmelo Anthony is supposedly a option for the Boston Celtics now that they need a guy for the interim, and I think he could be a guy for the whole season. Carmelo, even when Danilo comes back, Carmelo could play like a huge role for them. And I mean, obviously, once Danilo comes back, having Carmelo will also allow you to ease Danilo in a bit more slowly, which I think could be beneficial in its own right. But I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this? And do you like the idea of Carmelo Anthony joining the Boston Celtics?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still think Boston needs some more size, but
Bruno.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping Capicola gets it going, but I really hope you've definitely gotten me back on the Boca Low train, but Melo would definitely help him out with or without Gallinari, in my opinion. I mean, Boston's a really good team. They're a really deep team. I don't think that Melo is somebody that they necessarily need, but I don't think that it hurts. Definitely doesn't hurt. I mean, 40% 3-point shooter, giving you 13 off the bench. If you give him 25, Boston's a great defensive team, so they'd be able to help with that. And it makes a lot of sense. It's kind of hard to believe that Melo is still a free agent to me, if he's not retiring.
Yeah, no, I think it is. It's crazy to think about. Also, he couldn't wear number 15, or I don't know if 7's available, but I know 15 isn't available, which is like crazy as hell in its own right.
I wanted to go back to Denver, but Boston.
Denver? Mm-hmm. But no, I would love him to go to Denver, but I think personally that's not going to happen anytime soon because supposedly there's like the Nuggets hate him and he hates the Nuggets just as much because of how things ended. Yeah.
It's like 10 years ago.
I know that was 10 years ago, but still the same owner. It's supposedly a beef with the owner. He does not, the owner's the same owner of the Los Angeles Rams. But I think Carmelo, Stan Kroenke. The same guy who said fuck St. Louis, and
yeah, I'm right with him.
But basically, so with Carmelo, I like the idea because he'll be able to give you the scoring punch that you would have received from Danilo Gallinari in the interim, and then once Gallinari comes back, now you're 11 deep. Before
now you got 2 slow defenders.
Oh, shut the fuck up. This is just when you need scoring, okay? When you need defense, you put in, Grant Williams and like you have your defensive lineups. You have, also Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White who can play defense and Grant Williams. You put in Carmelo and Danilo when you need that shooting, and scoring. Yeah. You're over here acting like okay, and also Carmelo, I trust Carmelo more than Danilo when push comes to shove that he would actually go out and try for defense because I think Carmelo really wants a ring, and if he's put in a situation where he knows that like okay, I gotta actually try and play some defense here, like he can be like acceptable. Do you agree with that or no?
No, but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I want to see Carmelo Anthony.
There's nothing. Yeah, Melo doesn't do anything for me on defense. Like even if he tries.
Carmelo for his career Carmelo is a plus defender. Yes, the last 4 seasons he's been horrendous, but in OKC he was a 109 defensive rating. Last year he had 114 on the Lakers.
Not abysmal.
Not abysmal. I mean, he was terrible on the Blazers, but you have to understand, on the Blazers and on the Lakers and on the Rockets, he was on 3 teams that were horrendous defensively. So I personally believe that like those stats are a little bit more skewed than they should be because like they were like,
dude, yeah. If I'm Boston, I'm getting Boogie instead.
I love the idea of Boogie, but I guess one could argue that out of all the coaches in the NBA, if I had to say who would be a coach who could contain him at this point, Udoka would be the coach to keep Boogie in check. Like I agree with that. Like I think Udoka would be like a coach who would literally tell Boogie, suck it up and shut the fuck up whenever he starts bitching.
Same with Darvin Ham.
Yeah,
Gotta bring the Lakers in it.
Yeah, but I don't think LeBron cares.
Oh, he cares plenty.
You think?
LeBron's looking at teams that have 2024 to 2027 first round picks.
I know. That was funny.
He knows everything.
Laugh. He knows everything. That made me laugh when I read that. I was just like, wow. He really
can't wait till Luka and LeBron come to Houston. It's gonna be so cool.
Luka and LeBron in Houston,
and all the James family.
Are you a big fan of the James family?
I'm a big fan of the James family. Yeah.
No, but
you remember when Mark Jackson said he would like get with Savannah on air?
Yeah. I mean, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson doesn't get a head coaching job because he's homophobic, right? And he's like super. He's a minister. Okay, again, this is all alleged. I don't want to put any slander. This is what I've been told, and this is what I've read. Mark Jackson's a minister at his own church, like for Christianity, and he's very religious. So, from my understanding, he's like anti-divorce, like pro-life. He's homophobic, and he's like very conservative. You get what I'm saying? Like religiously conservative. And
that really surprised me because he said he would get with Savannah James on air while broadcasting a basketball game.
This is what I've been told why he has never, ever gotten another head coaching job, not even an assistant job.
Jeez.
Since
they'll throw him on air.
I don't know this. Again, I want to make sure this is alleged. This is what I was told because during the head coaching search, he had multiple interviews. So I asked my commenters and I asked on Reddit and Twitter, I was like, hey, if anybody knows what's the deal with Mark Jackson basically like getting like flaked on all these jobs? Is it like, am I missing something? And people were just like, yeah, Mark Jackson, because of his religious beliefs, is like kind of like a no-no.
Interesting.
He's just kind of like antiquated in his beliefs, Like there's nothing wrong believing that, but supposedly like it just makes it difficult to work with him. But let's move over to a nice little article I found on The Athletic that I told you about. And I thought it would be a nice little piece to talk about because it's a bunch of information. And we like a bunch of information. Alrighty. Let's see if this shows up. Booyah. So the Athletic NBA staff wrote a nice little piece. NBA players and a coach with the most to prove. So basically, the NBA staff decided to examine all 30 teams to pinpoint one player or coach on every team with the most to prove. Pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just run through it. We'll read you what each one says, and then we'll give our reaction if we agree with it or why they're on this list. I made a video doing this, and it's kind of fun. So Deandre Hunter. This was a guy that they actually traded up to get. They traded up 4 spots with the Pelicans to take him 4th overall. And he's been solid defensively, but he's missed 78 games over the last 2 seasons. And even though he showed that flash, which we've talked about in the past 2 years ago before he injured his wrist, he's been inconsistent offensively and sometimes a straight up liability. Entering his final year of his rookie contract, the two sides don't seem close to on a deal. They've offered him Keldon Johnson money, and I believe he wants $100 million. So DeAndre Hunter, do you agree? I thought it was either DeAndre Hunter or John Collins. We'll talk more about Hunter in the next segment because we actually have a Hunter Collins segment. But DeAndre Hunter, I agree. He's on the hot seat.
Yep. I'm not too worried about it. I think it really is just a health thing. If he's healthy, he's going to produce for you. And he
pull up his
he was a bucket, man. He scored 21 a night in the playoffs, 46% from downtown.
Do you have those pulled up right now in front of you?
What?
DeAndre Hunter's playoff stats. I was literally about to ask you, can you pull up his playoff stats? Like if we can get DeAndre.
Yeah, I've got it. He's only played in 10 playoff games in his career.
But this past playoffs, was it 10 games?
Yeah, 5 games, 35 minutes a night, 56% from downtown, took 14 shots a game as well. So,
Okay, that's the number we want to look at. He needs to be taking 14 shots a game, which I think how much was he taking in the regular season?
10.8 every single season of his career.
So yeah,
Which
look,
is
this
crazy.
is we need. I think this is something we look. DeAndre Hunter, we know what you're capable of. Give him the ball. Tell him to shoot 14 times a night, and I bet you shooting one in the playoffs like 6 or 7 threes a night.
5.2.
5.2. There we go. Right there. So that's what you need 5 threes a night and 14. We're not expecting to shoot 57% from the field, but you know what I mean? You literally just pointed out he shot 10.8 for the entirety of his career. And now he shoots 14 in one playoff run, and he's looking phenomenal. It's all about opportunities and, get the ball in his hand.
Give him the ball and get the hell out of the way.
Literally. Because the thing is, I'm not going to say he's a great dribbler, but he does get downhill sometimes pretty well for, not being specifically. Oh, damn. Maya Jama and Ben Simmons ended their engagement.
Okay.
So we'll move on to Malcolm Brogdon. So Malcolm Brogdon, basically, this is a guy that Malcolm Brogdon has missed I think it's like over 100 games over the past 3 years. And this is a team that made it to the finals. And Malcolm Brogdon is being quoted as like one of the missing pieces in the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with this? Is it Danilo Gallinari, or is it more Malcolm Brogdon, or is it like Derek White? Because Derek White did choke.
Gallinari, get him out. I mean, he's no disrespect because Gallinari's a legend, but your expectations are in check with his age. Derek White is actually, I would probably go with Derek White because I don't see any issue with Malcolm Brogdon in any way, shape, or form outside of, he played 36 games this year, 56 year. He's missed probably close to 100 games. But, I mean, when he was healthy in these past 2 seasons with Indiana, he's averaging 20 points a night. He's shooting good from downtown, career 38% three-point shooter. He'll probably get, I would imagine, I wonder if he'll actually even be in the closing lineups. I would actually be really enticed with Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Robert Williams as my closing lineup. Because my thoughts on Al Horford. He's cool, but clock's ticking.
Yeah,
I expect a big drop off from Al Horford this year. I think Malcolm Brogdon, even you go back to his last playoff appearance, which I know it was with Indiana and they got swept very easily, but 21.5 points per game, 10 assists. I mean, he's definitely capable. He's just got to stay healthy. I think Derek White really was, I don't want to say a disappointment, but in the finals, he was outside of game 1 where he made all those.
Yeah, he made all the threes. We were just like, the Celtics were going to win this if Derek White had played the entire series like he played in game 1. Let's be real.
Yeah. So he 25 a night, 36% from the field, not going to get it done, 31% from downtown. I know he's not a lights out 3-point shooter, only 8.5 points per game. It was like something just kind of happened and it's not inexperience. I mean, Popovich definitely taught him well, and he's had a good playoff experience before with San Antonio a couple of years ago. So I think they needed him to really step up, or not. It's almost not even like step up. It's just like not do what he did. So the additions of Malcolm Brogdon and even just Derek White from last year's trade deadline, I mean, the Boston Celtics are loaded.
Basically, the whole Boston bench is on the hot seat. They need to prove that they can create and not be a detriment to the Celtics.
No. To me, it's the starters.
Really? I just thought the bench, if they had scoring off the bench, they would have won that finals.
All of them got clamped in the finals.
I know,
but every one of them.
I mean, I agree that Malcolm Brogdon is the guy who has to prove it. They brought you in to fix. Because their problem was that they couldn't bring anybody off the bench to help fix the starting lineup. That's why you traded
for fucking Derek White. Blame Derek White, not the guy who just got there.
I'm not saying blame a guy, but say a guy who has a bunch of pressure on him. It's Malcolm Brogdon because they brought Brogdon in to fix the problems that they had in the finals.
I'm doubling down on Derek White. Hot seat. Brogdon's fine. Just stay healthy.
All right, we'll move over to the Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons and Steve Nash.
That's just fucking bullshit.
I agree with the Ben
Hate
Simmons
this article.
Ben Simmons is bullshit because all Ben Simmons has to do is play and average 16, 8, and 8. And
all he has to do is just step out onto the floor, and you're getting 15, 8, and 7. His career average at the minimal in his A+ defense.
That's what I'm saying.
Nash, 100%, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you were being sarcastic with the Ben Simmons thing or not. You were being like serious. You agree
Ben Simmons,
with me.
yeah, that pisses me off.
Like
I don't even want to read the. It's probably it's injury related.
It's all injury. Like all Ben Simmons has to do is play the full season or 65 plus games and just do what he's done his whole entire career, and nothing's wrong. All you have to do is play. That's all. So
just step out onto the floor. Yeah.
So I don't think Ben Simmons has anything to prove. It's just literally just playing. But I think it's Steve Nash because we talked about this before. How much can you blame Kevin Durant for the sweep against the Bucks? Part of that, I know we do have to give the benefit of the doubt to Steve Nash that his first 3 years have been injury marred. But how much do we keep defending Steve Nash? Because at the end of this quote right here, does he impact winning and show he can develop players?
No. Neither or.
Well, he's shown Cam Thomas, Kessler Edwards, and David Duke did show. Those were the only guys really we've seen show progress. But whenever guys get hurt, he's never been able to elevate. Good coaches elevate their teams.
Yeah, I see it both ways. I mean, he's on my hot seat regardless, just because of his inexperience as a head coach, and it kind of sucks. But when you have 3 Hall of Famers and you don't even get to the finals, I know they played 11 games together, but I mean, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. He's still all right. Okay, he had 2 Hall of Famers. Like it's tough. Steve Nash is a great guy, and hopefully he turns into. I mean, technically, I bet statistically speaking, he's a really solid NBA head coach so far. But is he the guy for the Brooklyn Nets? Is my thing. So we'll see. I think so.
Steve Nash is going to get Jason Kidd, where he gets fired from the Nets, and then he gets a job immediately after, like what happened with Kidd. I think he got traded to the Bucks, and they traded for him to be their head coach. And then he was at the Bucks. He developed Giannis, but got fired because some problems with his defensive schemes and offensive schemes. But Jason Kidd rides the bench for 4 years as an assistant coach, comes back, and now I would say he's a top 15 NBA head coach. I think that's what probably Steve Nash needs to do. He'll get another job opportunity, and if he doesn't kill it, he'll probably get fired and have to ride the bench for a few years till he earns his stripes.
I think he'll have to earn his stripes regardless, but I could see either or.
So next up, I think we'll put these two together because I think it's the same thing for both of these guys. Charlotte Hornets, Gordon Hayward, Chicago Bulls, Lonzo Ball. What's the same thing that they have had? Lonzo Ball has only appeared in 65% of his team's contests through his first 5 seasons in the NBA. Gordon Hayward, basically since he suffered his ankle injury, I think he's only played once more than 57 games. Right? Once.
Right after Boston.
Yeah.
Well, when he got injured with Boston, he missed the whole season. He comes back healthy.
How many?
A little bit. Played 72 games. They played him a little bit. He only averaged 25.
And since that 72 game, he's never played more than 57,
52.
Right? 52. Yeah. So, but his first year with the Hornets, Gordon Hayward, when he was on the floor, looked like he was worth $30 million. He was basically averaging 20, I think 5 and 5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year he was horrendous. Lonzo Ball, the last 2.5 seasons, every time we've seen Lonzo Ball, he can hit the 3-point shot. He's one of the best defensive perimeter guards in the league. And then he's also one of the better passers, if not one of the best passers at the point guard positions. Again, he's only played 65% of possible games throughout his first 5 years in the NBA. Both of these guys have to show that they're healthy.
Sorry, my friend's in the chat.
Is it the Gordon Hayward?
Yeah. He's a guy who wants to. We got to get him on to. He wants to debate the top 10 all time.
All right, word sounds good.
Yeah. Lonzo.
You agree it's health for both of these
Both
guys.
of them are. Both of them are health. I mean, Lonzo's like way younger, but
Lonzo's gets better every year.
Hayward hoops when he's out there, man. He hoops. If Lonzo can just stay healthy, you know my take on this. I will die on this hill. Lonzo Ball, a healthy Lonzo Ball on the Boston Celtics, and they got that ring right here. Woo.
But he doesn't play for the Boston Celtics.
No.
So my question is right here. I mean, I think if Gordon Hayward can't stay healthy, I think for both of these guys, if they can't stay healthy, their careers could be trending downwards.
Oh, well, Gordon Hayward's like 32.
Gordon Hayward more. Lonzo Ball, I think that only happens if he misses the entire season.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll trend it downwards, but I could see the argument.
I would just think people would be I think the Bulls would trade him and they would just be like, okay, we just can't trust your knee.
The day that the Chicago Bulls signed DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo Ball was the greatest day as a Bulls fan since
Derrick Rose was drafted.
Dwayne Wade and technically when Dwayne Wade and Rondo came over, because that was a big deal for us at the time.
That was sad. That was sad how big of a deal that was for you guys.
Yeah, that's it.
And then Rondo went fucking crazy in the first round.
Rajon Rondo almost took down the Boston Celtics on his own. And then we had, what was that fucker's name? Isaiah Cannon.
Yeah.
Rajon Rondo played 2 games for us. We won the first 2 games in Boston. We're headed home. 11.5 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 10 assists, 3.5 steals. God damn, Rondo. That could have been something, man. Oh,
Rondo literally was he was going nuclear.
Oh, fuck.
So next up, we got Cedi Osman. And Kelly Russo wrote that she would put Colin Sexton, but he's going to be on a qualifying offer, so it's already prove it year in terms of his next contract. And she chose Cedi Osman due to the fact that his main priority for this year is to show more consistency in his overall game. And even though this past season was his best year so far, if you looked at the end of the season, he was in and out of the rotation. And even though he has one more year on his deal after this coming season, it's non-guaranteed, meaning he could be waived. So basically this year he needs to show that he can stay in his role, like he doesn't lose his role, and he consistently contributes, to the roster and has steady minutes for the whole season. This one's kind of boring.
This one's super boring. I feel like at this point in Cedi's career, we already know what he is. He's a role player. He's a phenomenal role player.
So he's
a guy you could lean on if you had to lean on him if somebody got injured. But we know what Cedi is at this point in his career. He's 10 point per game, 35% three-point shooter. Coming off the bench, give him 20 a night.
Yeah. So the next one we'll go to is Dallas Mavericks, Christian Wood. And we already know with Christian Wood what he's going to give us. Spot up shooting, lob threat, and be, an on-ball dynamism with Doncic. And really the big thing is can Christian Wood we already know he's going to average 18 and 10. But can he
20
play
and 10, put it in.
20 and 10. Okay. Can he play defense, but not only play defense? That's not the big thing. Can Christian Wood not only elevate his game, but elevate his game to the point where he's elevating his teammates around him so Luka Doncic doesn't have to do all the work? That's the big prove it.
That's the kicker there.
Like, is Christian Wood a role player who, does well when given the ball a lot? Or is he a starter who makes a difference and helps you win when Luka has a bad night? Who helps you win when Luka's hurt? Helps you win when, Luka's double teamed and they need someone to take the shot, okay? And everyone else is struggling. Can Christian Wood, take his game to the next level and be that co-star That's the prove a year. Because if he doesn't do that this year, then we know Christian Wood he's the fifth scorer on as a starter, and he might, better be used as a six man off the bench.
What?
I see, like, if Christian Wood does what he did for the Houston Rockets last year and doesn't play defense and doesn't elevate his game, he's just a rotational role player. Like, he's either your starter, but he's your fifth scoring option on as a starter, or you tell him to be kind of like a Bobby Portis.
What is this, the dream team? 20 points is the fifth option?
No. Well, if he goes to the fifth option, he wouldn't get that many touches. That's what I mean. Like, what I'm saying is this year, he's going to be getting all the touches he got last year. But if he doesn't take advantage of this and prove that he's more than the player he's shown he is right now, which is still a really good player, a starting level player, but can he take his game to the all-star level is what I'm saying. And if he doesn't do that, I see him becoming more of like a Bobby Portis player. Bobby Portis is kind of like the sixth man. Sometimes he starts, three-level scoring big man who I think Bobby Portis is a better defender, but even though not by much. But I think Christian Wood, his floor is Bobby Portis, or is he going to be more of I want to compare him to somebody, John Collins of 2 years ago. Can he put up those stats where it's 20 and 10 and you're playing some defense and you're switching on to some forwards?
I didn't know John Collins played defense, but I think Christian Wood, any 20-point per game scorer, he'll be a starter till he's probably 32, unless he falls off a cliff. I mean, the thing is his defense isn't that bad. It's I use Karl Anthony Towns as a good comparison to Christian Wood, where it's when you have the worst defense for back-to-back seasons, you're not going to look good defensively. It doesn't even matter if they could have Giannis Antetokounmpo out there. They're still a shit defense. So I think that when your guards are getting beat anytime somebody runs past them, it's kind of hard to just be that dude. And those are – I don't know. I don't think Christian Wood is he's right below a Kevin Love, but he's above a Jeremy Grant as far as he'll get you rebounds, he'll get you points, and he'll play okay defense. But that's why I like that they have JaVale McGee, because JaVale should be able to close down and clamp up that paint, clamp up that rim, and Christian Wood's going to stretch the floor on offense. Now you got two good lob threats in Christian Wood and JaVale McGee. I don't have any concerns with Christian Wood.
They're running Wood at the 4, right? Because they said
JaVale.
JaVale's starting. JaVale said he signed because he was the Mavericks.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I don't buy it. I mean, I think he'll start.
I love the idea. I love the idea of McGee, Wood, Dorian Finney-Smith, and you either run Hardaway, Bullock, or Dinwiddie at shooting guard, and then Luka at point.
I mean, it's for 35-year-old center, I don't think you're going to, even if you're getting starts, there's no way JaVale McGee averages over 20 minutes in height this upcoming season.
You don't need him to. You can start and, play 5 minutes. You throw in a combination, you move Christian Wood to center, or you keep him at power forward and run a combination of, Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber, and Davis Bertans and Christian Wood as the backup, as the other center rotations. And then once fourth quarter comes in, you throw back in for the last 8 minutes of the game. You throw in, or last 10 minutes of the game, you throw JaVale back in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, let's move on.
I have no worries or concerns with Christian Wood.
I think we can kind of skip the Michael Porter Jr. one. It's basically, can he stay healthy and his back hold up? And can he look like the guy he was back in 2020 to 2021? That's basically it with Michael Porter Jr. I don't stay healthy and show that you were the same guy 2 years ago where you're the second best shooter in the league behind Kevin Durant. You have any other take?
I was just laughing at Thomas's comment. We're I forgot it. So never mind. But yes. A lot of these are just injuries.
I think this injury. Well, no, let's look. Yes, multiple injuries, but it's more like he's inconsistent offensively. specifically, he's not a three-point shooter, nor is he a finisher that attacks the rim. But, by the end of the year, some people could argue that Hayes showed some development, and he's still very young, and he has a willingness in the opportunities he's been given, and his development is heading in the right direction, just slower than you'd want. And I think Killian Hayes, at the very least, is going to become a poor man's Drew Holiday.
Yeah. He sucks at shooting.
Well, I think the worst thing is he becomes a poor man's Markelle Fultz, which is even worse than a poor man's Drew Holiday.
He's like a Frank Ntilikina with
Ntilikina.
Yeah, with less. I mean, Killian's good.
Frank can shoot. Frank can shoot now. I don't know what you mean. Frank can shoot now.
Really?
Yeah. Frank shoots threes now. Frank's like nice at shooting threes now. Frank Ntilikina
can take threes.
Yeah, and Mark Cuban came out and said he loves Frank Ntilikina, and he was playing 20 minutes a night in the playoffs. Look, he shot 34% this past year for them, 47.9 for the Knicks in very limited attempts. He's career 33% three-point shooter. But if you go into postseason basketball, he was averaging in the postseason 30% from three in 11 minutes. He had some nights where his last two games in the playoffs, he shot, he was basically hitting one or two threes a night. He's respectable at three now. I'm not saying he's elite, but he shot, 111 threes. Yeah, he's actually respectable.
I'm leaving him open for three, but unless he starts making them, then
he'll get hot every few games, Frank.
I'm willing to take my chances.
All right, the same thing with James Wiseman, another injury one. James Wiseman's in a great situation. He's coming into a situation where he's the backup center on the defending champs, which is a low pressure spot behind Kevon Looney where you can be brought in slowly. He just has to look that he's not a spaz, okay?
I think he's on the trade. I like this hot seat one. Even though he's come back from injury, as it kind of says right here, 22 mil in the next 2 years, and Golden State's they're going to have to get a little stingy here. So I'm hoping he produces well for him. I still think James Wiseman at his peak will be a phenomenal basketball player, but I don't know. I agree. He's on the hot seat, man. He's got to show me more than he showed me his rookie season.
Well, I was going to say if he can average close to the stats he averaged his rookie season as a backup, I'm happy.
But why am I paying my backup center center pays when he's supposed to be my top? Our assumption
is if he averages those stats as a backup, eventually by season's end he'll get pushed into the starting lineup. And
I hate that. Yeah, I hate that. Maybe down the line.
That's what I'm saying is they're going to start him off as a backup. This year. I think he just needs to put up good numbers as a backup, and then they're going to probably test it. And then whenever they give him opportunities to start and he takes advantage of it, that's the thing. We just need to show signs that you can be the guy that we thought you were going to be, which is a similar player to Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
Kevin Porter Jr. I think this one's easy. Kevin Porter Jr., be mature, show personal growth, and average similar stats that you finished the season on, which was I think 18-5-5 or 19-5-5, which he showed that he had better vision. He could capitalize on, plays and continue the development that we've seen.
Yeah. This is a big year for him. Contract year.
I agree completely. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, in my opinion.
If he's not a point guard, if they have concerns he's not a point guard, he's probably gone. I like the idea of Kevin coming off of the bench, but even with his statistics, I would imagine he should be able to land a starting job, or he'd take a bet on himself to land a starting job somewhere if he were to test.
No, I completely. I like Kevin Porter Jr. is a shooting guard that they're trying to turn into a point guard, and he's doing well at it, but we just need to see that he can be a point guard. If not, I think they should try him out as their sixth man and maybe run like Ty Washington.
He'd have to have a shit season to take a six-man role,
Yeah, of course. Next up, Miles Turner. I agree with them. We need Miles Turner to show that he's more than just a 3-and-D shot blocking big. We need to see that he can, carry a team with his scoring. And, like I said in the past, Miles Turner has been public about his desire to show his full range of his game as the full-time 5, because for the entirety of his career, he's been splitting that 5 role with Domantas Sabonis, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
my thing with Miles is he's got to stay healthy, man. He can't stay healthy recently.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he hasn't been able to stay healthy, but I just think, again, we just need to see that Miles Turner, are you more than just a 3-point shooting big man? Or can you really,
But he does more than just shoot threes.
Is he a top 15? Is he a top 20 center or is he a top 10 center? That's what we need to find out.
Top 10.
I think he's right now closer to 15 than 10.
I just don't know I don't know. I can't think of 15 centers who
I take
can
Embiid,
score 13.
I think Embiid, Jokic. I want to pull up.
This is a 13-7, 35% career 3-point shooter whose career average is 2.3 blocks a game.
All right, so let's look at this. So I have Embiid in front of him, Jokic in front of him, Karl-Anthony Towns in front of him, Kristaps Porzingis in front of him, Bam Adebayo in front of him, Nikola Vucevic in front of him, DeAndre Aiden in front of him, Jared Allen in front of him, Rudy Gobert in front of him, and we're already at 10. We're at 10. Oh wait, no, we're at 9. We're at 9. I would arguably say that I would kind of have Jonas Valanciunas over him. Jonas Valanciunas is just as good as a 3-point shooter, 36%, and is just as good as not just as good, but offers similar defense. I think Jonas also is a good pickpocketer. I think this is where he's two more.
2 more. That's all you need. All you need are 2 more.
Jokic Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl, and
I have issues with that.
And Robert Williams III. And then I start to put. Then you have Miles Turner's in the same league as Clint Capella, Jusuf Nurkic, Wendell Carter, and Jusuf Nurkic, Wendell Carter.
Okay, so he's
Clint
around
Capella,
15. Okay,
15.
But what's the issue?
Oh, he just needs to show that he can do what Wendell Carter and Wendell Carter shows that he has more scoring ability than Miles Turner. So we need to see that. Can he be like DeAndre Aiden and clean up in the post? Can he be can he be a body like Jonas Valanciunas? I have in front of him because I think Jonas Valanciunas is 300 pounds, and Jonas Valanciunas just moved. Jesus. Jonas Valanciunas is 270 pounds. Okay,
he's a fucking scorer.
Yeah, and Jonas Valanciunas dropped 18 in 11 and a half and 3 assists. Jonas has a whole offensive game. Miles Turner, I need to see some passing. I need you to wreak havoc in the paint. When Miles Turner's in the paint, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Miles Turner in the paint.
Okay. I need way more offensive rebound. Maybe it was a Sabonis thing. I don't know. Miles Turner.
Yeah, who's better, Sabonis or Turner?
Oh, Sabonis. But the thing is, maybe did either of them hinder each other? That's, I guess, the question, because how are you at 7 feet tall? How is your career average for offensive rebounds per game 1.4? It's just a huge
That's another
issue.
thing, yeah.
It's
Miles
a huge
Turner.
issue.
You could argue Sabonis is a career double-double, basically rebounder. That Sabonis stole.
He is, and he like double what Miles Turner career average
playing next to each other.
Well. Yeah. So
yeah,
this would be an interesting year for both of them. Just get a whole year.
Yeah, by themselves. So, yeah, I think it's Turner. He needs to show he can rebound, that he can, cause chaos in the paint. Like when you see guys like Joel Embiid, Jokic, even Karl-Anthony Towns, like all these other guys that we listed in front of him, even Jakob Poeltl, they impose their physical will in the paint. As soon as they get 5 feet within the basket, just backing down. And we just don't really see that from Turner. Again, it's like you said, did Sabonis, hinder his rebounding because when Sabonis and Turner shared the floor, Turner had to stand in the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on. Kawhi Leonard and Anthony Davis. I think they're both in the same boat. Health. I think Kawhi, you just got to show that you're still good to go. While Anthony Davis, even when he's been healthy, he doesn't look like the guy we saw before 2020.
I'm not a fan of that.
Okay, give me your fucking take, you bitch. Don't say you're
now
I
want to know more. Now I want to know more. Okay, so
what do you want to know more about, you goddamn bitch?
Okay. What this boils down to is 3-point shooting, because defensively, Anthony Davis is still one of the best defenders in the league.
Yes, but he's been a detriment offensively.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I would say he's been a detriment from downtown in the last 2 seasons.
Yes,
as opposed to I still probably won't leave Anthony Davis wide open, but I'd feel a lot better with Anthony Davis taking any 3-point shot right now
Anthony
than
Davis
I did when they
play
won it all.
Anthony Davis should play center and stop having
100%.
And he should stop taking 3-point shots. Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to stop him, but
not take them as free. Like, dude, the guy thought he was.
He doesn't take them though. That's the thing. He kind of stopped taking them because he freaking sucks at it right now.
Oh, he did.
Like if we go to the playoffs, if we go to the championship in the playoffs, he shot 3 threes a game for 38%. But if we go to the Phoenix Sun series, he took 2.2 threes for 18%. That's abysmal. This past season in 40 games, he shot 18% from downtown. Like abysmal. I just need that number to start with a 3, so you have to respect it. And it's probably these injuries. So I think a healthy Anthony Davis, hopefully that number starts with 3 from downtown. And then I would imagine he's just as dominant in the post and especially defensively. So if you have a healthy Anthony Davis who's knocking down threes at a good enough level, Lakers.
I just think when we look at Anthony Davis, I love me some Anthony Davis, and I just get scared that Anthony. All right, if you look at this, Anthony Davis, amongst all power forwards, he was 3rd in scoring, and he was only taking 1.8 threes. I really think Anthony Davis, you should be taking I guess 1.8 is fine with me. Yeah, 1 or 2 threes a game. I just think Anthony, you are a center at this point in your career. You are no longer a power forward. This team is better if Anthony Davis and LeBron James are the front court. What do you think?
Word.
All right, we'll go to Zaire Williams. The guy shot 64.2% on 2s while shooting 31.4% on 3s and had a rebound rate of 5.0.
Pathetic.
And the thing is Zaire with, Danny Green still recovering from a torn ACL, Dylan Brooks, seeming like they're trying to phase him out. Zaire's expected to take a jump. Of some sort.
Yeah. I got another hot take for you.
Go for it.
Memphis Grizzlies playing team this year.
It would have to go really bad. Like really bad.
It's just statistics. To me, it's just statistics.
I don't think the record will be as good, but I still see him as being like the 6th seed at least.
So if we have to take if we have to take 3 out of the 6 teams that made the Western Conference playoffs secured seed last season, and if historically there's only 50% of those will make it, who are the 3?
List the 3 off? 6. List the top 6.
Phoenix, Golden State, Grizzlies. Who else is in the NBA?
I think it was Utah was in there. I think Utah was 4.
Oh, Utah, Dallas.
Utah obviously is 1.
Okay.
We got Utah 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fuck, dude. Fuck. Holy crap. I'm just looking. I can't think about it. Memphis is 2.
Do you have it up? Who is it?
I have it up.
Who's 6?
Phoenix. So it goes Phoenix, Memphis, Golden State, Dallas, Utah, Denver. Then Minnesota, then New Orleans, then LA, then San Antonio.
Grizzlies.
So obviously,
playoffs.
So you take out the Utah Jazz, you take out the Spurs. Fuck, man. This West is so deep.
They're so much deeper too.
The Jazz and the Spurs are so obvious. I mean, the Pelicans. It's got
to be a playoff team, though.
Yeah,
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'll give you a top 10. And the only list, none of the teams that made the play-in, every team that made the play-in tournament got better.
Yeah, man. You're
right.
Right.
Sorry, Memphis. Sorry, Miami. Enjoy the play-in.
I think Miami's fine. Victor Oladipo just got to stay healthy and play efficiently. Joe Ingles, you just got to show that you're 35. Yeah, literally Joe Ingles, you need to show that you can keep up with NBA players still. That's the easy.
35-year-old off of ACL. Scary.
D'Lo, you need to accept the fact that you are a floor general. You can't average 12 points a game. You can't shoot 33% from the floor. What you need to average is 14 to 15 points at least a game, 7 assists, and 4 to 5 rebounds. You are the 4th option behind Karl-Anthony Towns, Edwards, and Gobert. Okay, you are the 4th option. You need to feed Gobert, Towns, and Edwards as much as possible. And if he doesn't do that, it's going to be a rough year. Zion,
this dude scored 45 against the Toronto Raptors in the 4th quarter. It felt like.
Yeah. Zion just needs to show that he can be healthy for an entire season, that he can be a positive player defensively, and show some life from 3. Julius Randle, just mature, play defense, and try to be 70% of what you were 2 years ago. Shea, you literally need to just average what you averaged post All-Star break, which was 30, 5.7 rebounds, 7.3 assists on 54 from the field, 39 from 3, and 80 from the free throw line. I'm just running through these.
Jalen Suggs is a bust. Sorry. Bust.
So with Jalen Suggs, what we need to do is look. Jalen Suggs will
suck.
Dude, his offense was the only thing that sucked. Jalen Suggs was one of the best defensive guards in the league last year, and he's a good passer. Jalen Suggs, if your shooting and playmaking doesn't develop, just try to become Drew Holiday. That's what it is. If you can't shoot in the NBA and you're a guard, try to be Drew Holiday.
The thing is, I'm rooting for him, but where did he go to college?
Shut the fuck up.
Who's the last good I get Brandon Clark,
Rui Hachimura.
Sure. Kelly Olynyk.
Wait, Kelly Olynyk was a Gonzaga boy?
Is that it? That might be it. So just analytically, I don't think he'll be what he was projected to be at number 4.
All right, Domantas Sabonis, you asshole. John Stockton, Domantas Sabonis, John Stockton, Rui Hachimura, Jalen Suggs, Brandon Clark, Kelly Olynyk, Corey Kispert, Zach Collins, Adam Morrison, Austin Day, bro.
And name 1 star from that list.
Kelly and Tilly, David John Stockton, Domantas Sabonis.
Okay, so is Jalen Suggs the is Jalen Suggs the starter of the decade from Gonzaga?
Chet Holmgren, baby.
I mean, yeah, but he's never even. Yeah, I mean, and I hated that James Harden one, by the way.
James Harden, he just needs to show up in shape and like carry,
He just needs to be healthy.
Yeah, no, I agree. So next one, Deandre Aiden, he just needs to further his game and kind of like what we said for Miles Turner. DeAndre Aiden has never taken over. We need DeAndre Aiden to show that he can take over. Okay. Anthony Simons, he just needs to fully embrace the CJ McCollum role. And what was CJ McCollum averaging? Like 23, 5, and 5?
Sounds right to me. Sounds
close enough. So I don't think Anthony Simons will ever be that good of a rebounder because he's like 6 foot tall or 6'3", 6'2". He's short. He's shorter than CJ. So
better passer, probably.
Yeah, better passer than CJ. I think Anthony. I mean, we're seeing CJ was always a good passer. He needed the team.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Anthony Simons just needs to fully embrace the CJ McCollum role and like give us the same stats that CJ gave us when he played next to Damian. De'Aaron Fox, we've talked about this before, consistency on offense and making an impact defense and trying to figure out how he shot, 37% from 3 in his, second or third year?
Yeah, second year.
Devin Vassell literally just needs to show that he can be the second leading scorer behind Keldon Johnson because he's the second oldest Spurs draft pick, basically, in recent.
That's so crazy. I'm very excited about Devin Vassell next year.
So, but you agree with me. Devin Vassell just has to show that he can be Keldon Johnson's, like, the next guy in the Spurs draft picks that takes the jump.
Yeah, hopefully. Looks like it to me.
OG Anunoby, he's got to take the jump that we thought he was going to take. Like last year, OG Anunoby, I made a video. He was going to be my breakout all-star.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, he's a good defender. He's a good scorer. What he has to do now is become an elite defender and an elite offensive player. If that doesn't happen, it's not a big deal. It just means that OG Anunoby, good starter, never going to really be an all-star.
Just work on those handles, baby.
Yeah. And, OG just needs to, embrace his role as the two-way guy. Udoka Azubuike, you just need to be healthy, show that you're an NBA player, and do what you did in college, bro. Udoka, baby, be in shape. You literally showed up before your senior season and said you spent the full season working out for the first time. And guess what you did? You won Defensive Player of the Year. You won College Basketball Player of the Year. You were the best player in college basketball. And guess what you did? Guess what you averaged, okay? You went out there and averaged in 27 minutes a night, shot 75% from the field, leading all Division I basketball, 10.5 rebounds, an assist a night, almost 3 blocks on 14 points a night.
Break the curse, Kansas boy. Break the curse.
Yeah. And then to wrap it all up, Bradley Beal needs to play defense.
Hell yeah. Don't we all?
Well, yeah, Bradley Beal just needs to be healthy, play defense, and basically Bradley Beal, you need to show that you're more than just a scorer, that you can carry a team. You can Jimmy Butler it. That's what Jimmy Butler showed. Like Jimmy Butler went from being what Bradley Beal is right now to going to Philadelphia and Minnesota, then Philadelphia, then Miami, and in all 3 stops showed that he can put the team on his back. All right, what'd you think of?
It was like 50 minutes.
That was fucking 35 minutes. That was the episode.
Article, yeah. Yeah.
That was a fucking long article. We just kept going through it, and then I was just
we didn't even, the last like 15 were done in 5 minutes. Last 20 were done in 5 minutes.
I guess the DeAndre Hunter and John Collins and Joel Embiid will carry over tomorrow.
Oh yeah. That sounds good. Because I got a dinner res. I'm going to try and edit. I'm going to try and clip what I can.
You're good. You taking a girl out?
No. Going to dinner with my mom. It's probably the last eat out of Chicago for me.
Forever. Illinois. Dude, sometimes my liver's been spasming Like it's spasming right now. I can feel like my liver having its own heartbeat. And sometimes I don't even drink that much, but like I just think maybe like all the things that like my liver's processed through the years, it's just starting to give out.
I don't know.
I also found 2 bags of cocaine outside of my car, like at a gas station.
Huh.
Yeah. Good stuff.
You took it.
Huh?
You took it.
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
That tweaks me as far as somebody's looking for that bag.
Yeah, I mean, I made sure
somebody wants that bag.
I made sure there wasn't any fentanyl in there. You can't even see that. Yeah.
That's good.
I should be dead.
All right. So we should, hopefully this show continues. If we don't.
You got bad Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi just went AIDS.
Is it really? Yeah, it's so bad, dude. It's unreal. I'm surprised.
Like you were fine the whole show.
I've been fine for a while too. It's crazy because whenever we do my podcast for golf, it's the worst thing ever.
How many listens do you guys get on that? Like 200, 300 a listen?
Yeah. At first, yeah.
What do you guys get now? Like thousands?
No, I mean like when it first drops. Get a couple.
Oh. But like average in total, like what's each episode?
I'm gonna disclose these numbers live.
Oh, okay.
50,000 listens per ep.
I love
you in my bag, baby.
Do you have ads?
Nope.
No ads.
We even had a podcast sponsor in well over a year.
You had one?
I haven't.
Also, I do want to say, like, I don't know. All right, so our numbers in theory for these streams do pretty decent. Like after the fact, I mean, right now we were bouncing between almost 9 again, 5 and 9 today. Yesterday, so we're starting to creep back up to double digits as the season gets closer. My whole plan is in the next 9 months, we continue to grow this show. In 2 months, we've basically gotten 700 subscribers. So if you put that philosophy right there, that's going to be 3,600 subscribers by May.
Yeah, no disrespect to that kid because he was I liked his consistency, but if we dive into the statistics of this month and last month,
that kid sucked. Okay, tragic. Whatever you fucking did, you stole $250 from us.
That was it. That's all we paid.
I don't know.
Total.
It total something like that. Yeah, collectively $250. Just
some tough clips.
What was he doing?
Just some tough clips, man. There was one of us talking movies. Like it's funny. I like it. It's just I never really pieced since I've done these clips. I think I started basically this month. It's like everything's just doubled. It's all doubled. Some of it's tripled. Like it was better. We did better when you were doing everything than Tragic, which is tough. Yeah. Like in June.
Yeah, so live and learn. Don't get either way. When we move to Florida, we won't even have to edit. I will go to local colleges and walk into journalism classes with flyers and be like, "We need interns. and give them like a shit stipend, or maybe like just give them or tell them we'll give them a college credit, and then just have a few slaves."
College credit's the move. Maybe cash incentives.
Well, because I assume if everything goes to plan and we do the studio, and once this, because I'm about to create an LLC for my YouTube, we need to create an
I need to do that. Fuck.
And then for this one, when you make an LLC or when I make an LLC, we'll make a subsidiary of that LLC where we'll have a mutual bank account that all the money that comes from this show goes into that bank account, so we can just reinvest it into the show until we get to the point where we can start splitting it.
Yeah.
Because my thought is like once we start making money, we just use whatever money we make off the show and just put it back into the show, cover the cost of StreamYard and like whatever
I
else.
forgot that costs money. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whatever else we spend, we just use it all.
Yeah, you just tweaked me with that LLC. I think I have to make an LLC for every channel I have.
No, you need one LLC.
I just need one.
And then open a bank account.
AdSense.
Yeah, it's one AdSense, and then you open a bank account and you have your AdSense for all the accounts go into your LLC bank account. I do have to go. My girlfriend's at the door, so I gotta go fuck her. So, jeez.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow, peace.